Good morning and welcome to Take Your Life Back Today show with Ralf Friedrichs. Today is Wednesday, the 14th of January 2015, and today we are going to talk about 7 honest reasons why addicts lie. They don't probably mean to lie, but they'll do anything to cover up or deny their own shortcomings when it comes to substance abuse. First, as always, I want to give a shout out to Dr. Luis Gonzalez from StartingPointMN.com. That's StartingPointMN.com. Over at Starting Point, you can become an addiction recovery coach with Dr. Luis Gonzalez's educational program. And if you have passion, professionalism, and personality, and you have some sort of addiction background, whether it's your own or possibly through a loved one, call him at 844-414-8444. Dr. Luis Gonzalez from Starting Point at StartingPointMN.com. You can also hire him as an addiction recovery coach. He will walk with you from your addiction to your recovery, hand in hand, 24 hours at a time, today and tomorrow. He will never, nor will I, ever talk about your past. We are not counselors or therapists, but we are addiction recovery coaches. So, shout out, call him at 844-414-8444. Tell Dr. Luis Gonzalez you heard about him on the Take Your Life Back Today show with Ralf Friedrichs. Also want to give a quick shout out to globaleyeglasses.com. That's GLOBALEGLASSES.com. They are focused on saving you money when it comes to your glasses. They have frames that start at $6 and go as high as $49. Those frames include standard, non-coated, single vision clear lenses. However, if you need progressives, they got them. If you need transitions, they got them. You need photochromatics, they have them. You need polarization, they have them. You need line bifocals, they have them. You need some funky looking Elton John looking glasses, they have them. Go to globaleyeglasses.com. You can call me or text me at 631-599-0218. I am very familiar with this company. I will help you choose and order frames and glasses if you need to have it done. Go to their website, www.globaleyeglasses.com. They are focused on saving you money. Now, everybody knows about my websites. I have 3. My most recent one is the Take Your Back Life Today show with Ralf Friedrichs. That's takeyourlifebacktodayShow.com. There you will find everything that you see on these videos and more. I also have a website called clearviews.info, and clearviews.info is an informational page on addiction and recovery. It is the 411 on substance abuse. That's clearviews.info.com, and then you can also, like Dr. Luis Gonzalez, I also do addiction recovery coaching. You can find me at clearreform.com. That's clearreform.com. I will also only walk with you 24 hours at a time, today and tomorrow. I will never ever concentrate on yesterday, nor do I really worry about yesterday. I am not a counselor, I'm not a therapist. What I am is an addiction recovery coach. 7 honest reasons why addicts lie. Why do you think addicts lie? Well, we're going to discuss that today. Addicts tell lies more often than they tell the truth. I am not hurting anyone is a typical lie. I can stop any time. Deception becomes so second nature, addicts will lie even just as easy to tell the truth. Many don't even realize they're fibbing or lying, or that other people see through their lies. Living a double life is exhausting. So why do addicts lie? Well, here are the 7 reasons why they lie. Reason number 1 is to preserve their addiction. They want to save their addiction. The addict will do whatever necessary to maintain their addiction. If they acknowledged that the seriousness of the problem or the harms they're causing themselves or others, they would be hard-pressed to continue this way of life. Their logic, whether conscious or unconscious, is I need drugs, I need alcohol, and I need lies to keep people off my back so I can continue using drugs and alcohol. Anything or anyone that is going to hinder their drug habit or their alcoholism has no place in their life. So they will do, number 1, to preserve their addiction, they will lie about it. Number 2, to avoid facing reality. Addiction recognizes the addict's world and consumes their identity so their person becomes unrecognizable to themselves and to others. Since the truth is too painful to face, The addict constructs an alternate reality where drugs and alcohol aren't the problem, and the addict is doing exactly what other people want and hope for them to do. They say they've been clean for weeks, when, in truth, they've just got high maybe just a few hours ago. They say they've landed a great new job, when, in truth, they are actually dirt poor, and a lot of their financial issues are because of their substance abuse. That is reason number 2 that they lie, to avoid facing reality. Number 3 is to avoid confrontation. Loved ones rarely sit idly by as an addict self-destructs. They ask questions, they get angry, and they wonder, if you love me, why do you keep making choices that hurt me, is what your husband or wife might say. The stress of interpersonal conflicts can be overwhelming for the addict and probably cause them to even do more. Without mature coping skills, addicts may do or say whatever it takes to avoid the disappointment look of their loved ones' eyes, and they will do and say whatever it takes to keep their loved ones off their back. Or they may become increasingly defensive, dishing out complaints of their own in an attempt to draw attention away from their addiction and toward the person's weak areas. Number 4, they are in denial. And that is the biggest one, because anytime you talk to a coach, addiction coach, even a 12-step program, the first step, there are 2 steps. The first step is to stop denying. The second step is to reach to your higher power. Even in the face of overwhelming evidence and to the contrary, denial compels the addict to disavow their problem and ignore the consequences of their behavior. Although denial can serve as valuable protection function, allowing people to process information and come to terms with it, in addiction, denial can become persuasive. In other words, they will deny and try to convince you that, hey, I don't have a problem. For example, addicts may truly believe that their family and friends have become the enemy, or that their addiction is not only an acceptable but necessary part of their life. The disease uses denial and other sophisticated defenses such as rationalization, projection, and intellectualization to ensure its survival within the person that keeps denying. The addiction will suck you up and take hold of you. Number 5, they believe they are different. If an addict acknowledges that the drugs and alcohol have become a problem but wants to continue using, they must convince themselves that they are exception to the rule. The delusion that I'm not like the others, I can handle it, allows the addict to live outside the normal standards of the behavior. So as long as they keep convincing themselves, they feel they can convince you that they are different and they need to have drugs and alcohol. Number 6, they feel ashamed. In sober moments, addicts may feel extreme shame, embarrassment, and regret. Unable to work through these emotions, addicts cope in the only way they know how, by using more drugs and alcohol. How true. To keep up appearances, they paint a picture of themselves to others that is far more flattering than what reality is actually showing them, or what reality actually is. And last but not least is number 7, because they can. Sometimes friends and family match the addict's denial with the unhealthy dose of their own. They turn a blind eye to the worrisome behaviors and make excuses for the addict because the truth is simply too painful, or they are tolerated as much as suffering as they can bear, and they just don't want to be bothered with it anymore. Loved ones who ignore, enable, or rescue send a message that lying and denial is acceptable, thus perpetrating the addiction. No more lies is what I have to say. Lies are the root cause of isolation more addicts experience, as well as anger and disillusionment loved ones often feel. While loved ones can't force an addict out of denial, there are steps they can take to illuminate the realities. They need to recognize that the lies fulfill a purpose for the addict and are not a personal affront. As frustrating as they can be, lies are the most common part of the disease. While it is important to understand the purpose of the lies, it is equally important to push past them. The lies are keeping your loved one trapped in the addiction. In some cases, addicts are forced to face reality by hitting rock bottom, which we always talk about, but loved ones can help raise the bottom by staging an intervention, refusing to enable or rescue, contacting a therapist or addiction treatment program, and pointing out negative consequences in real time. Examples would be after a driving under influence charge. They will bring up that instead of pushing aside what has happened and let's concentrate on today and move forward. Creative, supportive environment that facilitates honesty rather than engaging in a power struggle or making threats. The lying will stop when the addict feels safe telling the truth and has the support that he or she needs. They need to be comfortable enough to come to you for whatever they need to do. If you knock them and jump all over their back every time they come to you with a problem, they will not come to you anymore. It's simple, plain and simple as that. Encourage involvement in support groups like Alcoholics Anonymous, which replace the automatic response lies with rigorous honesty and making amends. In these groups, peers hold addicts accountable for their lies and encourage them to face the unpleasant truth about themselves without shame or blame. It's true, addicts lie. That is true. And while the lies can't be ignored, they are actually a distraction from the real problem. The underlying issues that contribute to addiction and the diversion from the solution, finding a path to recovery. Only by breaking through denial and seeing the truth can an addict begin to heal. Very good article. 7 reasons why addicts lie. Let's do a quick recap. Addicts tell lies more often than they tell the truth. I am not hurting anyone, they might say. I can stop any time, they might say. Deception becomes so second nature, addicts will lie even when it's just as easy as to tell the truth. Many don't even realize they're lying anymore at some point or another because it becomes part of their life. Living a double life is exhausting, so why do addicts lie? They lie to preserve their addiction. They don't want to give up their addiction. They feel they cannot live without their addiction. It becomes almost like needing, like a fish needs water or a human needs air. That's how they feel. To avoid reality, they do not want to face the reality that they have a problem. They don't want to face the reality of living without alcohol and drugs. Number 3 is to avoid confrontation. They don't want to fight with people. They don't want to have to constantly come up with an excuse or a reason of why they do drugs and alcohol. Number 4, they are in denial. Huge one. Once you drop the act and finally admit that you have a problem and you stop denying it, things will become better. They believe that they are different. They truly believe, and that's number 5, they truly believe that they need to have alcohol and or drugs. So they are different than you and I. Number 6, they feel ashamed. They are so ashamed. Usually the shame part happens during the sober. While they're sobering up, they start getting a guilty conscience. They don't remember what they said. They have lots of remorse. And number 7, because they can. People will lie because they get away with it. I am not saying to you folks to go ahead and call each and every person out that lies to you about their addiction, but by asking the right questions and bringing to surface their addiction to them without literally calling them a liar might help. I say no more lies. Lies are the root cause of isolation most addicts experience, as well as the anger, disillusionist loved ones often feel. While loved ones can't force an addict out of denial, there are steps that can take to illuminate realities, and some of these steps are to recognize that lies fulfill the purpose of an addict and are not a personal affront. As frustrating as it can be, lies are a common part of the disease. Don't judge your husband or your wife, your grandparents, or whoever, your friend, because they're lying to you about their disease as liars. Those lies are part of the disease. While it is important to understand the purpose of the lies, it's equally important to push past them. The lies are keeping your loved one trapped in addiction. In some cases, addicts are forced to face reality by hitting rock bottom, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. But loved ones can help raise the bottom by staging an intervention, refusing to enable or rescue, contacting a therapist or addiction treatment program. When you see your loved one that is this close or has already hit rock bottom, it is then time for you to take action. suggest a 12-step program, check them into a treatment center or a rehab center. Call me at 844-405-HELP. Between all of us, we can get your loved one help. If you catch an addict in a lie, don't look the other way, letting them know that what you see will help them face the consequences. And again, if your loved one is lying to you, don't say you're lying. Bring to surface the counter measure for that lie. So if they're saying that they didn't drink, you can say, well, that's funny because you smell like alcohol and you are slurring your words. Don't come out and say you're a liar, because that's very tactful. Create a supportive environment that facilitates honesty rather than engaging in a power struggle and making threats. Don't threaten your loved one with anything. The lying will stop when the addict feels safe telling you the truth. Let your loved one say, I am ready for help. My way of starting telling the truth about my own problem was to drag a garbage can out of my shed filled with empty shot bottles. I dumped them on the lawn to show my wife. That was stage one. That was my first sign of my path to recovery. Encourage involvement in support groups like AA, which replaced automatic response lies with rigorous honesty and making amends. In these groups, peers hold addicts accountable for their lives and encourage them to face the unpleasant truth about themselves without shame or blame. It is like disciplining a child. You don't beat your child. You explain to your child what needs to be done to correct the issue and the problem. It's true, addicts lie. And while the lies can't be ignored, they are actually a distraction from the real problem. The underlying issues that add to the addiction and the diversion from the solution, finding a path to recovery, is up to you to help them. Only by breaking through denial and seeing the truth can the addict begin to heal. And part of that healing process is you. And if you're watching me and you are the addict, reach out to whoever you might feel most comfortable by telling the truth. By breaking down, and I'm not saying mentally or physically, but I'm saying breaking down the wall of denial. Breaking brick by brick, take those bricks out of that wall of denial. Because the minute that wall comes crumbling down is the minute you will start feeling better. And that is the time you will be taking your life back. Start today, the 14th of January 2015, to take your life back. If you truly have an addiction problem, reach to a person that you feel most comfortable with. And if you don't have a person like that in your life, reach out to me. You can text me. You don't even have to verbally speak to me. You can text me at 631-599-0218. A lot of people do that. You can call me at 844-405-HELP. But you need to reach out. Brick by brick, crumble the wall of denial. And the minute you stop denying and you reach out to God and have God help you, navigate you, guide and direct you, your life will start becoming the way it used to be when you were younger again. I use this example. Your body is a vessel, like a ship, and you are the captain of your vessel, your ship. No captain takes their ship into the rough ocean without navigation. Let God be your navigator. You are the captain, your body is the vessel, the ship, but you need that navigation. Reach out to God. Ask God for guidance and direction daily. Let Him guide and direct you daily through your life. Let's face it, your life wouldn't be crumbling around you if you were a great navigator. I am a lousy navigator. I have now become a better navigator through the Lord Jesus because I ask Him to guide me and direct me. I let Him make the decisions. I am merely the captain of this vessel, but He is my navigator, and you can have the same. But it all starts today, January 14th, 2015. Let me help take your life back today. Reach out to me at 631-599-0218 for texting. For calling, it's 844-405-HELP. Take Your Life Back Today Show.com has information on there that will help you get back on track. It will absolutely help you get back on track. But it all starts today. I want you to help yourself. But I realize that every person, including me, needs support somewhere. If it's not AA, and if it's not the rehab center or the clinics, or even me, let it be a preacher. Let it be a priest. If you feel comfortable enough, get to support from your spouse or from your parents. I know there are thousands of people sitting there watching me. And some of you folks might be in jail for whatever reason. It is now the best time while you're sitting in jail to start putting your thinking caps on and thinking about your future. Because obviously right now you're not drinking or doing drugs. Hopefully you're not in jail. So you're actually cleaning your system. What better way to start the year 2015 when you get out, and hopefully it will be in 2015, to continue the year in a sober, clear-minded state? Why not do that? While you're in jail, read the Bible. While you're in jail, think about how your life can be better in the future. There are some of you guys sitting in a homeless shelter. You might be sitting in a room where there's one TV and everybody's sharing it, or one computer to watch me on YouTube. All that money wasted on drugs and alcohol, if you did, might have caused you to become or to arrive in this homeless shelter. Isn't it great now to start thinking about, number one, is to quit drinking or quit doing drugs. Number two is to look for a job. And all the money you'll be saving from not doing drugs and alcohol will never, ever, hopefully, put you in the homeless shelter again. There are some people that are sitting in a nursing home. And I know that you folks rely on seeing these videos amongst many other shows on TV, but these videos on YouTube or wherever you might see them. I promise you this, that your family comes as much as they can, and if they don't come enough, it is simply the easiest thing to do is to request them coming a little bit more. But you have to remember, if you're sitting in that nursing home, is that your family probably have jobs they have to attend to, and they have a busy schedule. And sometimes we all just forget the most important things in our lives, which is you. It is great to just remind them, have them come visit. But more importantly, get together with your fellow friends in the nursing home and play some cards to keep active. Watch these videos to keep active. Recommend these videos to maybe some of your younger friends that you know might have an addiction issue. But either way, if you're in jail, a homeless shelter, nursing home, or wherever you might be watching this, and wherever in the world that you might be watching this, know this, that the Lord Jesus Christ sees everything that's happening. Even the walls in a jail will not prevent God from being in there. Even all those beds in the homeless shelter and the terrible conditions you might be living in, God is right there. Even in a nursing home, while you're sitting there possibly on the couch watching this or in a wheelchair, God is right there. Reach for your higher power and you will get higher results. Folks, I hope to God that today's program has helped each and every one. I want everyone to know that there is a reason that people lie when they have an addiction, and that is to keep their addiction going, because they do not realize that they can live without drugs and alcohol. They don't realize that. But it is up to all of us to come together as children of God to help each other. And I want you to know that a sober today, I guarantee you, will make a better tomorrow. Try to let the sunshine into your heart and your home, and you will get positive results. Reach for God for guidance and direction, and you will get results like you would not believe. Results physically, mentally, spiritually, and financially. But it all starts with you. And if anyone out there would like any help from me, text me at 631-599-0218, call me at 844-405-HELP, and let me help take your life back. May God bless you, and have a sober day. Bye-bye.